All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, December 24th, 2019, and I would just like to start off by wishing you a Merry Christmas before we get started with Week 17 of the NFL Pick'em. Tomorrow's Christmas, Wednesday, December 25th. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas to those who celebrated, to those who don't. I don't really know what days you celebrate, so I don't know. Anyway, so we just finished with Week 16 of the NFL as we usually would, how we start the videos. I went 13-3 on my Pick'em last week. Very, very good week. Very happy about that. So, there's some credibility going into Week 17, which is pretty much rivalry weekend in the NFL because most things are kind of sewn up by Week 17. There's still some odd ends to be sewn up this week, but so Week 17 is essentially just a bunch of rivalry games. Everybody's playing someone in their division. This is so the NFL can still draw people to watch these games in Week 17 when your team might be long out of it. And if that's the case, if both teams aren't really qualifying for the playoffs, I'm not going to really give much analysis on the games because really it doesn't matter. Like if you got 7 and 8 teams playing each other, who cares? Neither one of those teams are making the playoffs. So we're going to kind of gloss over some games, go a little bit on some games that might have some major implications. Mainly Sunday Night Football is the culprit of really importance. I guess the Titans game is kind of important. So we'll get started here. Again, I went 13-3 last week. Let's see how we do with the last regular season pick'em of the NFL season. Very, very depressing. Sunday 1 p.m. games. We have the Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. This game has no absolute importance because the 5 seed is pretty much already decided in the NFC. That's going to go to the loser of the NFC West matchup on Sunday Night Football. And so the Vikings are pretty much just going to be the 6th seed no matter what. I would imagine with the amount of injuries that they're dealing with, with Dalvin Cook, all the running back situation is not any good. There's really no reason to play Diggs, Cousins, some of the guys on defense going into this game against Chicago, who has a very rabid defense, who is going to be very aggressive, trying to just, I don't know what bad teams do to teams that are in the playoffs, but this seems like a game somebody could get hurt. So I don't know why the Vikings are favored by 7. I didn't see an over-under for this game listed. I have no idea why they didn't put one. There's 2 games like that. The Cardinals and the Rams don't have one either. But this game, there's really no importance to it. The Bears are going to be playing for pride. Trubisky's going to be playing to keep his job. So I do like the Bears to win a close game, 17-14, in a meaningless Week 17 rivalry game. So, it's just in this game, this is a prime example of what I was talking about. The Falcons are taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are favored by a 1.5, and it's an over-under of 48. 6-9, 7-8. Neither of these teams are going to be making the playoffs. Dan Quinn is probably coaching for his job, even though there's no way he's saving that. It's, you know what I mean? Playing for pride, playing for division bragging rights. I just don't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the, I know they just beat some people and they can score some points and they can, they have a pretty decent offense, but I think the turnovers kill them in this game. Give me the Falcons 35-31 over the Bucs because the Bucs will turn the ball over a lot. This game doesn't matter because the Patriots are just going to ran rough shot over the Miami Dolphins. They won the division, so we'll see the Patriots, as they usually do, play the starters for the first half, maybe the first 3 quarters, because they have some offensive stuff to work out. The Patriots are 15.5-point favorites with an over-under of 45. The Dolphins will probably attempt to lose this game to secure kind of a lower draft, situation. So give me the Patriots 35, Dolphins 10. Another game. This is almost exactly like the game we just talked about. The Green Bay Packers are going to go play the Lions. I'm pretty sure the Packers have said they're going to be playing starters for at least the beginning of the game. I don't know how it's going to end for them, but I would imagine you're going to sit Aaron Jones pretty quickly. You're going to sit Aaron Rodgers pretty quickly. You're going to sit receivers pretty quickly, especially once this game probably gets out of hand very early. Lions season is completely shot, so I don't see Detroit trying, because if they go 3-12-1 and maybe the Redskins somehow sneak out a victory against the Cowboys, Detroit would get the number 2 pick in the draft, and that would be pretty good for them. The Packers are, of course, 9.5-point favorites with an over-under of 41.5. 1.5. So, yeah, duh. I know the game's in Detroit, and Detroit can beat Green Bay, but without Stafford, this is a no-go. Let's go on to the next slate of 1 p.m. games. We have the Browns and the Bengals. The Browns are 6-9, hilarious, and the Bengals are 1-14. You know what's funny about this is I said the absolute worst record the Browns could have this year would be about 7-9, and their ceiling is 9-7. Goddamn, hit the nail right on the head on this one, so I feel really good about that. The Bengals, on the other hand, they stink. They tanked correctly. Congratulations, Cincinnati. You're going to have a new quarterback. I wonder what you're doing with Andy Dalton. Is he going to Chicago? Is he going to the Chargers? Is he going to be a Raider? So there's going to be somewhere we're going to see Andy Dalton head out to. But the Browns are 2.5-point favorites in this game with an over-under of 45. And for Joe Burrows, it's not a bad situation to go to Cleveland or Cincinnati. Yeah, the line needs a lot of work, but you got some weapons to play with. You got some definite weapons with AJ Green, Boyd, the running back. It's not all bad in Cincinnati. But I have Cleveland winning this game. I just think Cleveland's a little bit better of a football team than a 1-14 team. Not much better, but they're a little bit better. So 2014, give me the dog pound, I guess. Like, they're literally every game is like this week so far. I tried telling you at the beginning, most of these games are complete gutter trash before we got into this video. This is going to wind up being the shortest video of the year. I can already feel it. Los Angeles Chargers take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers have had a shitty year. They're 5-10. It was very depressing listening to Phillip Rivers talk about how there was more Raiders fans, completely way more Raiders fans. There was like 12 Chargers fans at their last home game. So that's very embarrassing. This team needs to go back to San Diego, where they actually had fans that went to games, because that's just sad, man. Why is the NFL allowing that to happen to a team? It makes no sense. So I don't know. Well, the Chiefs are probably going to be playing starters in this game, because if they win and somehow the Patriots lose, they could leapfrog the Patriots into the 2 seed. So I would imagine, since there is playoff implications in this game, much like the Packers game, there's playoff implications where they could somehow jump into the 1 seed if a bunch of losing happens. So you're going to see starters in games like that. I forgot to mention that with the Detroit Green Bay game. But Kansas City could theoretically leapfrog into the 2 seed if the Patriots were to lose to the Dolphins. Very unlikely, which is why we'll see the Patriots play their starters for a little while. Because you don't want to lose that first round bye if you're one of these teams. And you might want to get one if you're Kansas City. Get a little time to rest. The Chiefs are 8-point favorites with a 46.5 over-under. I like the Chiefs to win this game 31-20, basically because they know they have to. Yeah. I was going to change the score of this one. I was actually going to have the Jets win 21-17. So I have the Jets winning this one, actually. I just forgot to fucking change it. I feel really stupid because I'm fairly certain Buffalo is going to be sitting starters. They're the 5 seed. Nothing is going to change that. They can't win the division. They can't fall to the 6 seed. They're locked in at their spot that they're going to be in. So I would imagine you're going to see Buffalo resting starters like the running backs. Maybe Josh Allen won't play the whole game because there's no reason for them to play starters. So the Jets are going to be playing for pride, for whatever they want. I don't really know. It's a division game. So I do have the Jets winning 21-17. I forgot to change it. Jets win 21-17 in that one. Sorry about that. And then we have the final 1 p.m. game, which is going to be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'm pretty certain, because of the fact that there's a bunch of 12-3 teams, the Saints are going to be playing starters because they probably want one of those first-round buys. They have the oldest quarterback in the NFC. He probably wants a week off. He's probably starting to get a little tired. So, you know, that's another reason the Patriots want it, because Brady needs a week off, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, this game won't be close. Kyle Allen is not the answer. He's not the replacement. I told everybody that the very second Kyle Allen took the job, I was like, oh man, the Panthers season's over because they don't have Cam no more. And everybody went, oh, Cam stinks. He's overrated. He's not that good. Blah, 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 blah. Kyle Allen's the future. Then he had 3 good games and everybody went, see, Rob, we told you, fucking Cam Newton's overrated garbage now. Send him out. And now Kyle Allen sucks again, and they've pretty much come out and said they're not going to be getting rid of Cam Newton. Duh, what kind of fucking stupid shit this team would be a playoff team if they had Cam Newton right now. Imagine Cam Newton and C-Mac right now. That's just, I don't know, oh my God, just that's a very fun combination of very gifted players. Watch out for the Panthers next season. New coach, new whole system. Cam will be there. Don't expect to see fucking Kyle Allen, who got benched for Will Grier. I feel really like, come on, NFL fans are such prisoners of the moment. It's like, you guys really take a look at Cam went 15-1 and won an MVP award when he was healthy. He's been hurt. Chill. But anyway, so yeah, it's good he sat this year out, by the way. Cam needed to sit a year. He shouldn't have played at all this year. They said it last year. They should sit him this year, which they should have. But anyway, give me the Saints 35-24. Panthers will be good again next year. Do not worry about it. Cam will be back. He's going to take over, and he's going to be healthy as a motherfucker, and that will be beautiful for Panthers fans. And I don't know about the Saints next year, though, because I don't know if Breeze will be there. Saints win 35-24, 13-point favorites. Let's go to the 4 p.m. games. There's 7 of these. All right, let's see. We got the Titans and the Texans. I'm pretty sure the Texans have already said they're resting everybody because they can't really move up or down in terms of the playoff pecking order. I think if like a bunch of miraculous bullshit happens, they could move up, but I think they've gone with, we're a very unlucky football team, so let's sit everybody worth a shit. The Titans are going to be playing for their lives, so that's another reason why you sit everybody against the Titans. Titans are favored by 3.5 points with an over-under of 43 because of the fact the Texans are sitting players. You know what I mean? Like, I think this game is meaningless for the Texans. They're just like, whatever, we'll just lose. Who cares? We're in the playoffs. We're pretty much secured at our spot. We can't leapfrog the fucking Chiefs, so I think they actually could, but I don't think they care because it's not like they can get a first round bye from it. So they, you know what I mean? They're like, we don't care. So Titans, give me the Titans 28-24 because they'll be playing for the playoffs, whereas the Texans will be playing for nothing. This is just a mismatch. I mean, the Redskins are clearly going to lose this football game because if they win it, they go to the 3rd draft pick and the Lions take over the 2 pick. They probably want Chase Young in Washington, so give me the Cowboys 28-13. The Cowboys are 10.5 point favorites with an over-under of 44.5. What do you expect? This game isn't going to be like, unless the Cowboys really just blow this one and go 7-9 this year, which would be hilarious. And then we have the Colts and the Jaguars. No one really cares about this one unless you're a Colts or a Jaguars fan. I didn't do any real research into this game. I just kind of I just went with the line. You can tell I literally went like the way I do scores, I'll do them Monday night, and if I can't figure out who's going to win, I just leave them tied. And then I'll go in and add points to who I think is going to win. This is one of the games I left tied, if you can't tell, 21-21. So, I don't know. Give me the Colts. I think they're a little bit better of a football team at this point. I trust Brissett a little bit more than Minshew. Colts are 3.5 point favorites. So, yeah, I'll take the Colts over the Jags. Eagles versus the New York Giants. I think the Eagles are going to come out and shit all over the Giants in this game, and it's nothing against the Giants. It's just they have nothing to play for, and the Eagles have their entire season, the postseason to play for. They need this game to win the division, so expect the Eagles to come out and play pretty aggressive against the Giants. I don't necessarily know what the Giants are going to be doing, maybe trying to spoil something, maybe trying to just cause problems, because I believe if the Cowboys win and the Eagles lose, the Cowboys wind up winning the division. So the Giants could be trying to play spoiler, so they'll put up a fight. But I think in the end, they will wind up losing because, in the beginning of games, they seem to play better, but then they go, oh yeah, we're choking, or we're tanking rather. So let's stop all this and continue the tank. So I like the Eagles 35-28. Eagles are 4.5 point favorites with an over-under of 45.5. And let's go on to the last 3 4 p.m. games. I do have the Ravens winning against the Steelers. I know they said they're sitting all their starters. I know they have literally nothing to play for, but I do not trust the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. That thing is atrocious. They have no quarterbacking ability. Rudolph and Hodges are laughable. This team needs Big Ben back, which is hilarious because Steelers fans thought they were done with him. Nope, he's everything you needed and then some. You would be a playoff team with him, and because you're almost a playoff team without him. With him, you're 11 or 12 win football team right now. I fully believe that. Probably only losses would be one to the Ravens, and then maybe the Patriots. Well, obviously the Patriots, but you'd be like a 2 or 3 loss team right now if you had Big Ben, in my humble opinion, because you lose a lot of close games that Big Ben probably doesn't lose. So, because of the fact you don't have Ben Roethlisberger, I don't think you're gonna win. It's just like your offense is that bad without him. I just no faith in it. Give me the Ravens 21-13. Steelers are 2.5 point favorites in this game, which is stupid, with an over-under of 38.5. You can make some good money probably picking the Ravens to win this game. The Broncos take on the Raiders. Drew Lock versus Oakland, which will be pretty cool to watch. Oakland's final game as the Oakland Raiders. This is it. This is the last game. It's against the Denver Broncos, one of their rivals. So that's pretty cool, actually. Some significance in this game, obviously, because it's the Raiders' last game as the Raiders. And if the Raiders win, they can actually somehow sneak into the playoffs. If the Colts win, the Steelers lose, and the Titans lose, the fucking Raiders make the playoffs. So I don't think that'll happen. I think the Broncos take out a game. They win this game at home. Drew Lock wins another start. The Broncos are 4-point favorites with an over-under of 41. Give me the Broncos 31, Raiders 28. Like I said, this episode is going to be very light on analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to, there's not a lot to, like this. Who cares? These teams don't make the playoff. And only one team on here is a playoff team, and it's the Ravens right now. Like, no one cares about 7-9 and 6-8 playing 6-9 and 7-8 playing each other. But anyway, we have the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams to wrap things up here, and then we have a Sunday night game, the only good game of the week, really. Let's see, Rams are favored by 7.5. There was no over/under listed for this game on FanDuel, so I don't know. I think even the odds makers went, who gives a fuck? Like, they just went, god damn, what a disappointing season by the Rams. I wouldn't count the Cardinals out in this game. They've been pretty good at fucking with teams at this point. I'm not surprised by the Rams. I had them finishing 9-7, so that would be pretty cool if they wound up finishing at the record I had them finishing at. The Cardinals have played decently well this year, considering they're a very, very young team in terms of coaching and quarterbacking. Not a bad season for the Cardinals. Definite improvement. They're going to be fun to watch grow as they get better and better year to year. It's going to be fun to watch Kyler Murray, who should probably win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's going to be close between him and Josh Jacobs out of Oakland. And maybe somebody else, but I think Kyler will wind up winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. But I don't think they win this game. Give me the Rams 28-21. So those are my picks for the non-prime time. And here's the prime time game. This game was fucking difficult. I know the Seahawks just re-signed Beast Mode. They just got their guy back. They just got Marshawn. But that doesn't solve the offensive line problems that the Seattle Seahawks are dealing with, which is part of the reason why all their running backs got hurt. Literally, everybody got hurt. And you're starting to go, well, what's the problem? And then you look at it, you're like, oh, shit, their offensive line is starting to really get bad. It's really starting to become porous. It's just in a state of a disarray. Obviously the Seahawks defense has never really been their strong stick this season. Because they've been in quite a few weird games where they've had to come back and win in very large scoring games. In this game, I see that being sort of a problem. I could see I see the 49ers defense giving fits to the Seattle offensive line, which is going to cause some problems to the running game and to Russell Wilson, which might, it's going to take I don't know how Marshawn's going to look in this game, especially going up against this defense. It's going to be quite the show. Man, I just feel like the 49ers, they know, both these teams know what's at stake. They know the division's on the line. They know a first-round bye is on the line. They know pretty much everything is riding on this game. Like, the 49ers could go 13-3, or they could go 12-4 and wind up a wild card team. Like, it's a very tense situation in this one. You go from, either one of these can go from division winner to whatever it's called, wild card team, and then it's just completely changing. So first round bye and a home playoff games, or you're a wild card team, which that's the stakes of this game. And I think the 49ers rise to it. I think they're going to do it on their defense. I think their defense scores some points in this game. I think their offense does exactly what they need to do. I think they're very limited in the mistakes they will make. I think the 49ers will take advantage of the bad offensive line, the bad Seattle defense right now. The Seattle will take advantage of the inexperience, the youngness of the 49ers. They will use their experience. Russell Wilson will, Pete Carroll will. So it'll be very interesting. It'll be a fun coaching battle. But I really do ultimately think the 49ers will walk into Seattle and take this upset, or not this upset, but take this win. I think they trade away wins. So basically, Seattle went and stunned San Francisco in San Francisco. Now we're going to see the 49ers come back up into Seattle and get their victory back, I think. Give me the 49ers 27-24. Again, the 49ers are favored by 3. So that's my picks for the week. I went 13-3 last week. I'm 151, 88-1 with a 62.9% pick'em this year. Not too bad. So we have one more week. Obviously, this is the last week of the pick'em. Yeah, not a bad season so far. I think I'll have to look it up. I'll put my last year record on the video coming up. I'll make like a results video or something, and yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Leave your picks down below as per usual. I'll comment back to any comment you leave. You know how it goes around here. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Both those things help out tremendously. Hopefully you have a Merry Christmas, or whenever you listen to this, a Happy New Year, yada yada yada, all that fun jazz. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Leave your comment, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So thank you guys. Go Patriots, go Lions. I can't believe the season's almost over, but then we have the fun playoffs and the XFL, and yeah, it's not too bad. So thank you guys again. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. Peace out. Stay dirty.